Hello teacher. Today I'm gonna show you my project management plan based on the task management app that I am creating on Java. So this is for the software development 1 subject, and my name is Jose Manzano. Let me start with the introduction. So first of all, I'm gonna show the objectives of this project. So basically, that is create a simple app that enables to the user add, view, update, delete tasks, and also manage certain reports. So basically, this introduction define the parameters that we're gonna use, and also for this will help us to minimize certain errors or potential and not working parts that my software will have in the future. Also, I'm gonna carry out around the software development I have been doing, and so this software has certain parts that, for example, is like the creation of the data, that we're using a file-based storage. Also, this software is based on graphical user interface, and also the entire progress continue testing, like to ensure that everything is all the functions are working correctly. In summary, this project introduction serves and visualize our application and organize this in an efficient manner, thereby ensuring all the objectives that my system has and operates as intended. So first of all, I'm gonna talk about the risk management. So the objective of the risk manager in this part is mitigate the issues that I will have in this project. So below I'm gonna list certain potential risks. So for example, I could have the presence of errors in my code or bugs. So this is a malfunction of the system. So for mitigate these risks, I have to try or test each feature and resolve the error as soon as it arises before deploying production. Also, other risk management I find is the file handling data storage. Besides, this application stores a large quantity of information files, sometimes I could have a lack of storage, of not enough storage, or certain formatting errors to addressing the data. So in this case, I have to handle write the storage and testing the amount of storage I have, and also creating backup process every certain time. Other one is the graphical user interface or GUI that could not work or could having certain errors for the user. So in that case, it's just starting to create each element in my graph GUI step by step and gradually adding functionalities to it. Other risk management I could find in my application is the time management, that sometimes could not be enough time. So for prevent this issue is having, as we have been doing, a certain kind of schedule for all the tasks that I have been doing, and also it prevents errors, delays, or any uncommon situation that we didn't expect. and error in user data entry. So basically this is error that come out from the user. So for prevent this error, just creating a validation in the fields to ensure the accuracy of the data entered by the user. And now I'm gonna talk about a little bit about the resource management plan. So in this step, I'm gonna talk all the resources I have been doing or I have been using to create this app. So regarding the human uses, I am the human resource. I am who lead, develop, wrote the code, implement the functionalities, create like the CRUD functionalities that carry out the creating, reading, updating, deleting, and also testing, the interface designer. So as the human resources, the only person I have is me. The material resources, in this part I am talking about my computer that has 16 gigabytes of RAM, the code editor, IntelliJ IDEA or Visual Studio. I'm talking about like the language Java, certain libraries. Also I have to add the Canvas material that the teacher provides to all the students, and I think that's all. Now let's go with the data storage, which in this case is the MySQL database that I am using for. Also I have to add the file system that my computer have, and finally the GitHub account that works as a storage and keep the version of the project organized. As support resources, I should say technical documentation, online tutorials, the LinkedIn tutorials that the school provides, and also the teacher. Quality management plan. So in this case I have to list all the quality plan that I have been working on to make sure that my objectives are or my goals. I am sure that the system of my functions are correctly working. So first of all, the first one I realized or I find out is the testing throughout the entire development process. So it means like testing every single part that I was adding on my system. So like verify each function that I am creating or I am adding on my system for prevent vulnerabilities, errors, also to make sure that certain scenarios will not corrupt my software. So to ensure the system operates reliability. So that's what it means. So the data validation, as I talked before, it means that I have to make sure that the user will not corrupt my program, adding like a certain data that is not correct. So it means I could get this just validating each field that my software has. Other one I could talk about is the review my code. So it means like maintain a clean and organized safe code. It involves using clear code, descriptive names, methods, also commenting my code, and adding appropriate like code comments. Additional, I could say like I could talk about the testing the GUI, like each step that my GUI has, testing and verify that all the buttons, the functions are correctly working and the data is saved with no issues. And finally, testing the data validation and the code reviews could be like the main part of the quality management plan for my software. So as a conclusion, here I showed you screenshots of my app. So I could say like all the development of this program, it have been a successful establishment, solid foundations for me as a student. So it helps me to identify and improve my skills as a computer science student. Also, it helped me to organize and separate and classify each resource that I have for create a certain software product. So in this case, this project helped me, all this process helped me to gain a better understanding of how to develop a plan and refine an application. I think this project fulfilled my objectives and enabled me to acquire viable programming skills. So that's where my presentation about my plan. So thank you so much.